Hey guys, welcome back again. It is April 2nd or 3rd. I don't know. It's either the 2nd or 3rd of April. Just giving a recap of March. I know that the last video that I was making was my Paris and Venice trip. I was planning on making a video at the end of April, so kind of get a recap of April. But kind of a lot happened in March after I made those videos, so I figured I would just add in a little bit more of what's been going on. So I came back from my trip, and pretty much right after my trip I had a full week of school, which I was kind of ready for because since then like the schedule was like very wishy-washy, not like wishy-washy, I don't know, I know how to put it, but I didn't have a lot of class and it was getting kind of boring, like just sitting here and I'm walking around. Like I can't say it's been like I've just been sitting in my apartment, but I walk around the city and I do all that stuff, but you can only walk around one city for enough time before you're like, okay, what else am I supposed to do? Because you only have 1 to 2 days off in between a class, and that doesn't give you much time to like go travel somewhere. I need at least like 3 to 4 days for me to travel, because it takes like 4 hours for me to get to the airport, and then that's a whole thing in itself. But anyways, so I came back and I had that whole week of school and I was ready to go back, and then I actually ended up getting really sick. I think it's important for me to at least share what it's like getting sick abroad, because out of all the study abroad videos and channels that I was able to watch before I came here, I really don't remember anyone talking about getting sick, just about that you do need like the world travel health insurance, which I have. But at least in Finland, I tried to get an appointment with the doctor and it was a lot more difficult than I thought. I wasn't like dying or anything, so I kind of just gave up going to the doctor. But everyone here is literally so helpful. Like my classmates are helpful. The other exchange students are really helpful. I ended up texting in our exchange group chat that we have with like all of the international office people are in it, all the exchange students are in it, and then a couple of the like the school's like study abroad buddies kind of thing. Like they help out the exchange students that come. And I texted in that group chat, I was like, hey guys, if anyone is willing, I will pay for the stuff. Like it's not anything like that, but I literally cannot leave my apartment. I feel so sick right now. Would anyone be willing to get me some medicine and just drop it off? I think I had like 4 or 5 people message me and was like, what do you need? Like, can I get you anything? Do you need any tea? I don't know, tea's a really big thing here, so that was that. But I ended up having one of the girls go and get the stuff for me, and she came by and dropped it off. It was so nice. I think I had like kind of like COVID. I don't know, I was sick for an entire week. Like I did not feel good for almost a full 7 days. It was pretty bad. I slept all the time and I had a really stuffy, like really congested. I had a headache sometimes. I was super fatigued, and I didn't have like shortness of breath or anything, which I've had COVID before and I didn't have like the respiratory issues that other people had been experiencing. So I don't really know what it was, but I ended up feeling better and I was done with that. But I will say that like the pharmacies here are just a little bit different. Like you can't get stronger medication for stuff like that. So she got me cough drops, the strongest one that she could find, which honestly, I took all of them, all of the cough drops, but they didn't do anything to me. They were not strong at all. It kind of sucked. I did drink a lot of tea because I do have tea here already. But yeah, if you're studying abroad and you get sick a lot, because I have a terrible immune system, like it's absolutely terrible. I get sick all the time. Bring your own cough drops, especially if you end up getting colds a lot and stuff like that, because man, the cough drops here are garbage. they did not do anything to me. I ended up having this little mini pack of Halls cough drops that I brought here with me. Like this, I mean, it was super tiny. And I tried to like, I just did my best not to take them all at once. Like I tried to like scatter them out throughout the week so I could have like a couple a day to just ease my throat, because my congestion was terrible, my throat hurt. I don't know, like you heard all the symptoms. It just wasn't fun. But definitely think about that. I know and I've heard that medicine in Europe isn't as strong as the United States. I don't know if that's reliable, but anyways, I took a lot of my own medication. Like I have allergy pills here, I have ibuprofen, I have Tylenol, I have Benadryl. I have all kinds of stuff here that I brought from home because I do get sick so often. I have Aleve. I have everything. I have Advil. But yeah, I just got really sick. I am fine now, and I'm actually really excited and hoping that the sickness stays off. I still feel like I kind of have like a little bit of a raspy voice from being sick, which hopefully goes away, but it's fine if it doesn't. I don't care. But anyways, I'm super excited because for the month of April, I'm going to Stockholm. I'm going to Sweden. I'm so excited. I'm going with one of the other French students that I've met here. Me and her, like, we talk a lot more than probably the other exchange students here. Her name's Clarice, and she wanted to go, and she asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, of course. I have a weekend off, well, a long weekend. Everybody has weekends off, but I have a Friday off and then the next Monday off. So I have that 4 days. So I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we are going to Stockholm, and I'm super excited. I don't think we really have like a set plan of like what we want to do, because I think we're both the kind of people who just like go with the flow, like do what you want, go where you want, you know, the day changes and whatever. So I'm really excited about that. I am starting to get just a little bit homesick too. I don't know if it was just me being sick and like I had to stay inside for 7 days and I didn't see literally anyone for the whole 7 days, and it just made me go a little crazy, like not seeing anyone and not having social interaction, because I'm super social. But I am getting a little bit homesick. It's the end of March, so but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about how scheduling works, because I think I mentioned in the last videos that I was going to talk about like school, like how that works here. So the way that my weeks go are not like, they're not the same. Like back at home, you have one class every Monday or Tuesday, or every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you have another class every Tuesday, Thursday, and you have the same week over and over again. It's a set schedule. They don't do that here, which in a way is really nice, but it has its pros and cons. So for me, traveling has been awesome with not having that set schedule, because I do have the weekends that are long. I had that whole week off that I didn't have class, and it's really nice. But at the same time, it's like I really need, like me personally, I really like having a rhythm and a pattern to my days, to my weeks. It just makes me feel more like put together. And I'm just like all over the place sometimes. I don't know what's going on. I have class tomorrow. I don't know which class it is, but I know I have class. I mean, I can look to see what class I have, but it's like I have class tomorrow, but wait, what class is it? Because I can never remember, because we don't have the same class every day. And also, the thing that's even more like confusing about school here is that the classes, the way that they're structured, some of them end sooner than others. Some of them start later than others. I think I'm taking 8 courses right now, not at the same time, but in general. For this semester, I signed up for, it actually might be 9, 8 or 9 courses, and the way that that works is that the classes that you take here have different like credit numbers. So like your European credits are doubled, or you can say that the US credits are halved. So a full semester back at home is 12 credit hours. So for me to be a full-time student, for my credits to transfer, they have to equal at least 12 credit hours. So here I would have to have at least 24 credit hours. And I think I have like 25. I have like the bare minimum. Whatever. But the classes here, there's like 1 credit classes, 2 credit classes, 1.5 credit classes. There's even half credit classes, which can be difficult when trying to transfer them back, because for credits to be halved, each class back at home is worth 3 to 4 credits. So I am actually having to take technically 2 classes for it to equal the 1 class back at home, because let's say these 2 classes, or the class back at home that I'm trying to transfer to, is 4 credit hours. That's what it's worth. So I need to have 8 credit hours for the class that I'm taking here. So I need to have 2 classes that equal 4 credits, or 1 that equals 5 and 1 that equals 3, however you want to split it up. Or I could have done 3 classes and split it up in an even more difficult, weirder way. That was probably the most confusing part. People are like, well, what classes are you taking? And it's like, honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Or I forget, you know, it can get confusing. But the thing about it is that it's April, and I've already finished 3 classes out of the 5. I'm starting 1 whenever I come back from my trip from Stockholm. So currently I'm only in 3 classes, and then, no, 4 classes. See, I'm already confused. Anyways, it's just different. It's not necessarily difficult, but when I'm trying to explain it to people, it sounds so much more difficult than it is. But I don't know, it ended up working itself out, and that's all that matters. So yeah, I think that's about it with the scheduling stuff. That whole thing's weird. Also, back at home, you have all these different classes with all these different people. Like, everybody takes different classes. Once you get into your more specific, like, degree classes, you're probably gonna see a lot of the same people in, because you guys have to take the same courses. But here, to be a physical therapist, they call it physiotherapy, so it's different. I say physical therapist sometimes and they get confused. So it's the same thing, but to be a physiotherapist here or in Europe, you only have to do 3 years of school, and that's it. I wish it were that easy in the US. So for them, they start off, you're either a first year, a second year, or a third year. So since I'm technically a third year back at home, since back at home, you have to do your gen eds, your general education classes, before you actually move into those specified degree classes. I'm technically a first year here, which some of them thought that was confusing, and they thought that, you know, the classes that I'm having to take, like the gen ed classes, is stupid, which I can't necessarily disagree, because their schooling here is also free. Might I add, the schooling here is free. Anybody wants to move to Finland? Free. Apparently it's really hard to get in to at least the international, which is what I'm a part of, the international studies, because they're in English. So there's people in my class that are from Nepal, that are from India, that are from Austria, that are from Britain, that are from, I don't know, everywhere. Italy, France. I don't know, if I really thought about it, I can name off all the countries. But our group is only made up of like 20 students. But we're international students. So that's how that works. I don't know. But all of the classes that I'm taking, I have with all of those students in every single class. I'm with the same group in every single class, which I think is super nice. In a way, this is like a pro because you get to really know these people like really well, and you get to do the studies together. And I feel like that's just so much more helpful because like you have people say back at home, like every class that you have, you want to find a buddy in because you guys can help each other out. Well, here everyone's helping each other out because you're all in the same classes. We have, there's a group chat. So we use WhatsApp here. They don't use iMessage. Some people don't use Snapchat. It's just what they use in Europe is WhatsApp. It's pretty much like messages, but I don't know, a little different, I guess. And we have a physio first year group chat where if we're, confused on an assignment, we're confused on what's happening in the group. Like for me, and there's actually another exchange student in my class who's also a physio student. Like me and her, we aren't on the like the physio email that all the teachers have because we're new. So we haven't been put onto that, so we don't get the emails, but the other students can send the email into the group chat to let us know what's changing, which is super helpful. And I think that's been great for me, at least. The fact that, everybody is just so nice and they're trying to help you as much as they can. I've had questions about certain assignments and I'll be like, hey guys, like, can anyone help me out here? Like, I'm a little confused on what they're wanting, what's being asked. And, there's always someone that's helping me, which has been really, really nice again. But overall, like, school has been really good. A normal, like, class day, you usually sit and, so this is also what's different. I do go to school. I feel like I keep having to tell people that. It's just not what I choose to include, but I will be taking a video of me in class and I'll import it here or something. I'll do something. I'll show you that I do go to school. But anyways, so yes, the school days. So this is where it's really different. For one school day, for one class, you usually minimum will sit in class for 2 hours. Whenever you have a full day, which for me, usually the schedule is, so this is a normal full day schedule. You go to class at 8:30. That's usually the first class. I have had like one class at 8 o'clock. I think that happens every so often, but it's not as often that they do that. I think because some people travel by train and bus to get here from the surrounding cities. But anyways, 8:30 is the first class. And then you go from 8:30 to 10:15, and then you have a 15 minute break. You have a 15-minute break. And then the next session of the class starts at 10:30. And then from 10:30, you go until 11:45. And then you have an hour to grab lunch, do whatever you need to do. So 11:45 to 12:45 is lunch. And then you come back at 12:45, and then you go until 2:15, and then you have another 15-minute break, and then you come back at 2:30, and then the school day ends at 4. Yeah, so that's a full day. That's pretty normal. That can be for just one class. You're in one class that entire day, or some classes that I have are like split into two. So like one class will be before lunch, one class will be after lunch, and then other times you'll just have a half a day. So you'll just have the one class in the morning or the one class in the afternoon. It's very rare, at least that I've seen on the schedule and looking like ahead on the schedule, it's very rare for you to have just like that one time slot without like the breaks and then the other class. It's not common. Like, I don't think it's really hardly ever gonna happen that you go to class at like 8:30 and then you just go to 10:15. Like, that's not gonna happen. But like back at home, your classes are 50 minutes normally, or if it's like a longer lecture, an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half. They're usually never longer than that, which in a way I like better. But also, if you think about the classes here, they're practical. So you're not just sitting there in the lecture the entire time. You're not just sitting there and listening like you are back at home. You're participating. We get up and move. We've went to the track. We do exercises. We do things in the class. We get up, we move, we demonstrate. It's not just you sit and you take notes and you listen to the lecture. Sure, that's part of it, but that's the part of the school here. It's a practical learning school, which I think is really nice. And I think that's a pro. So if you're like, oh my gosh, that's a really long day, I wouldn't want to do that for just one class, it's not as bad as you think. Plus the breaks are actually pretty nice. There's a supermarket that's connected to the school. So a lot of people like go into the supermarket during the break and get like a snack or something. A lot of the times in the morning, like after that 8:30 to 10:15, I'll go to the supermarket and get a coffee or something, or like a yogurt if I'm hungry, because sometimes I don't eat breakfast before I go because I wake up late and it happens. But I think that they're really handy. So they're really not that bad. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the video here because I just talked a lot and that was a lot of information. But hopefully you have a better idea about how the schedule works, how I go to school, like what actually happens when I go to school. I don't know, that might have just confused some people more, but I think that it might have helped because I do go to school. I swear. I'm always telling people that. I just don't post it because why would you want to post in class? I'd rather post me traveling, you know what I mean? Okay.